We also have more breaking news here in New York, where the notorious Gilgo Beach serial killer case has finally come to a close. Just over an hour ago, Rex Heuermann, who was sentenced to life in prison without parole for the murder of 8 different women. The former architect and married father of 2, seen here in court today, admitted earlier this year to soliciting sex and strangling his victims before dumping their bodies across Long Island's South Shore between 1993 and 2010, so a 17-year period there. Today, we heard emotional impact statements from the families whose lives were torn apart by Heuermann's crimes. The sister of one victim telling him, "You don't have the humanity to feel any remorse." Now, take a listen to the judge's fiery response after Heuermann addressed the court.
There are no words I can say. I am responsible for what was said in this room today. The words I would say have no meaning, and I'm going to leave it there.
You've been described as a very big man, but you're a disgusting and despicable small man, if you're a man at all. And you're a coward.
The judge even shouted there. NBC News legal analyst Misty Marris joining us now to break this down. Misty, look, the family members who spoke in court said they are still suffering from immeasurable pain and loss. This was their opportunity, right? Victim impact statements to address someone who has tormented their lives. What do you make of no emotion or reaction, apparently, from Heuermann?
You know, so this has really been him the entire time that the case has gone on. He has shown no emotion. I've talked to Sheriff Errol Toulon, who's overseen his detention the entire time he has been there, up until today when he'll be transferred. Even behind bars, no emotion. Arraignment, no emotion. And you're talking about somebody who had never spent a day in jail and has shown no emotion, no remorse, and has just been stoic at every single part of this process.
Was it unusual to see a judge even shouting coward like that?
Yeah, I mean, that is unusual and obviously a very strong reaction. But if you look at how this case has played out, remember, Rex Heuermann had been maintaining his innocence throughout the whole course as this case was making its way to trial. Ultimately, you had a lot of really bad evidentiary decisions that weren't going in the way of the defense. But then he pleads guilty. And I really think that that's one of the reasons that you saw Judge Mazzy having that strong reaction.
This went on for over a decade and a half. How many documentaries have been made about it? How many questions asked? It just stumped investigators. What do we make of how finally all of the loose ends came to get tied together? Is this just sort of modern-day policing? How did it come to pass?
So there's been so much to this case, and it has a very complicated history. And when the task force was formed to solve the Gilgo Beach killings, and this was in 2022, and then Rex Heuermann was arrested not that far later, 2023, and now finally there is actual finality for the families. And that task force coming together and utilizing multi-jurisdictional resources, including the FBI, ultimately identified Rex Heuermann and brought us here today. We actually, Ellison Barber, NBC, we have a show, Allegedly. I appeared with her. We really broke down this case soup to nuts. There's so much to it. And for me, seeing finality for these families, thank goodness that they get some peace after this terrible, these circumstances out of their control.
It took 17 years, but finally some resolution. Misty Marris, thank you so much.